We've been in the tech space for going on 6 years now, so I thought I'd share a little bit about my background, how I got into tech, some of the things that I've worked on um, in the past, along the years, and some of the things that we're working on now. So, my name is David. We're located here in the Central Florida area, and I actually got started back in 2020 when the pandemic had first started. So, a little bit about me. I originally got in as a graphic designer. I had an online shop. This was right before I actually started my undergrad. I went to school for civil engineering, but I had an online shop where you could make designs for different, clothings. You could put up like shirts. You could put up cups. You could pretty much you could make a design, put it on an item, and then sell it online on various websites. So that's kind of how I got into the whole online space. So I did that for a little bit. I'd make little designs, put them on shirts, put them on, um, cups, stickers, anything like that. I had my little shop. I had an Instagram page where I would promote the products, and try to bring traffic to the website and get sales that way. So that was kind of my start, my little side project start into the whole online business space. And so as I started my undergrad, I always did something on the side. When I was running that online shop, a couple people had reached out. They wanted some graphic design help. And since I already had a bit of graphic design knowledge running the online shop, I decided to help them out. And so I started getting deeper and deeper into graphic design. I was designing business cards, I was designing brochure layouts, I was designing shirts, different other items for business owners, email signatures, a lot of different things like that for business owners. So I did that for about a year, freelancing as a graphic designer. Then, in about my second year of college, is when I started getting deeper into the web space. Around this time, I had gotten a little bit into UX design as well. So, designing mobile apps, designing websites, and using different tools like Squarespace, Wix, Webflow, those kind of online editors. So as I'm using those tools and doing some client projects, I realized that a lot of these tools are restrictive in what you can do in the editor alone. And so it gets to a point where you have to know how to code to make adjustments outside of the editor. And so that's how I started getting into programming, learning how to extend the features that are on the CMS tool or the customizer to be able to let it work for you and to make them more customizable to get it to what you're looking for. So around the time I started getting deeper and deeper into programming again, I was getting a couple clients from different sources, working with these different clients, and so it was cool. Again, I was in school, but I still was working with my clients at the same time, learning more, and especially a lot of the local clients as well. I used to just do direct outreach. I'd make my portfolio, then I'd reach out to local business owners, see if they needed any help. I started getting clients that way, and then so around this time, this is I want to say 2021. um, I saw that Shopify was getting kind of big. A lot of people, especially in the pandemic, were looking to start their own business. They were looking to, sell products online. This was starting to be a huge thing of like sell products online, drop shipping, that whole entire thing. So a lot of people were trying to start their own business, especially working from the house. Remote work had become more and more popular, and so a lot of business owners now wanted to get out there and start selling their products online. So I saw an opportunity here, especially it still kind of being a new thing to jump on this and see how I could help business owners sell their products online. So I started getting deep into Shopify, just learning the platform, learning a little bit about how it works and what exactly Shopify is. From there, what I used to do was I wanted to get a sense of um, the market of e-commerce business owners. So, like what are some of the problems that they're facing, what are they looking for? So what I did was, and I'm sure you know about it, I went to the Shopify. They have like a discussion community board where anybody can jump in there, ask questions, get responses, get help with whatever questions that they're looking for. And I would just go on the discussion panel, kind of read through the questions that people are looking for, get a sense of what are some of the common problems that people were facing. And then from there, I would go in and answer the questions. I'd go and answer the questions and give them a way to at least hit the ground running to solve their problem. If it's something simple, they could just apply it directly. If it's something a little more complicated, at least give them a step in the right direction. And so what I started doing also was I would say, if you need help doing this, feel free to send me an email, right? So try to, at least get some clients that way. So that's how I started getting my first few clients. I would let them know that if they needed help actually implementing the suggestion, just send me an email. So I started getting clients through that way. At the same time, I'm still working with local businesses, building their websites, setting them up, connecting different integrations, different platforms, working with the local businesses, but still getting involved with Shopify as well, while still, of course, undergrad as a civil engineer. So I started getting deeper and deeper into Shopify. Eventually, I wasn't really using the community platform anymore. That's actually when I started and I jumped onto YouTube. So I started making YouTube videos, started talking more and more about the Shopify platform, and started just making content. So how my um, method of learning is I would go on different newsletters and listen to podcasts and learn from a lot of the industry experts out there, reading articles, taking courses. And then from there, when I'm working with clients and we're actually able to implement these things in real time, or sharing suggestions that I learned from these different sources, that's when I use to be able to share here on YouTube when I make this content. So everything that I'm learning is from the industry experts or from what I've actually implemented with clients. I always like to implement things to see the experience it is working with a client before sharing here. So, for instance, a perfect example is when I was working with a client and they wanted something like integrating bundles, and bundles are something that's popular with a lot of e-commerce merchants. So you start to work with different clients of all shapes and sizes, some smaller merchants, bigger merchants. Some like custom builds, some like to use apps on the Shopify app store. But you start to get a sense of like, what are some of the popular apps that merchants are using, what are some of the apps that maybe they don't like using, what are some of the features that are common across merchants. And then from there you kind of start to see this pattern. And when you start to see a pattern, you start to see a lot of merchants start to like a specific tool. And that's when I'll come and I'll share that here, because if it's helpful to them, more than likely it's helpful to somebody else. And so I started making more and more content just like that. Started working with more and more clients, started working alongside um, companies, helping them set up their e-commerce stores, helping them integrate different platforms and different tools as well, just to extend the features of their websites. And so when I finished my undergrad in 2024, that's when I hit the ground running, just continuing to work with more brands and continuing to work with more businesses. And it's been fun. I've enjoyed the journey, constantly learning day by day. In fact, right now, a lot of the things that we're really getting into is, one, getting deeper and deeper into Shopify. There's a lot of integrations, a lot of tools out there that are definitely helpful for e-commerce merchants. Something else that we've been getting to in the past couple of months as well is definitely heading more into CRO. So looking at conversion rate optimization, how can we improve the conversion rate of e-commerce storefronts, especially looking at PDPs. I've worked with a couple brands and they have usually one or two, I'll say like 1 to 3 key products that are like the the popular products on their storefront. And so we're diving deep into those PDPs and looking to see what steps can we take to optimize these PDPs, and jumping into a lot of A/B testing as well. So a really popular tool out there is called Intelligems. It's an A/B testing platform, and essentially our process with this is we will, let's say we come up with an idea, right? So let's say we want to test um, we want to test trust badges. We want to trust having trust badges on the PDP versus no trust badges, right? So let's say a brand didn't have any trust badges at all, and we want to test, okay, right under the hero section of the PDP, maybe under the image and all the product information, we're going to put a row of trust badges there, just showing like shipping policies and how the product is made with good quality and things of that nature. Essentially what we'll do is we'll create a quick mock-up of that page just to show the merchant what it looks like before we actually go in and run the A/B test. And then from there, we'll run an A/B test. We'll send maybe 60% of traffic to this new PDP displaying the trust badges, and then the other 40% to the current PDP with no trust badges. From there, from what I've personally done with merchants, we'll usually give it anywhere from like 5 to 10 days, kind of monitor the results and see how performance is looking. With a test like that, after the 10 days, if we start to see that we're actually having better conversions with this new PDP with the trust badges, then we'll go ahead and use that winning test as the new um, standard for moving forward. If it didn't win, no problem at all. We'll just revert back to the previous layout. But looking for examples like that, something that I like to do as part of my learning is I'm always looking at like big industry players. So with clients, I'll look at industry, similar brands who are selling the same product to get a sense of what they're doing. And then also what I'd like to do is I would like to look at big brands in general, so like Nike, Best Buy, Target. They're always constantly making updates because I'm always constantly checking out their sites to see some of the updates and changes that they're making as well. So taking a look at their sites and seeing some of the things that they're doing and how we can implement that as well. So CRO is definitely something that we're getting deeper into as well, to see how we can improve conversion. And then something else that we're really getting deep into as well is AEO and GEO. So I'm sure, as you know, as a business owner, you know what SEO is, where you're search engine optimization. But now we're doing the same thing for these AI tools. So think like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude. And if somebody is searching for a specific service or product that your business provides, you want to be able to show up for that. So that's been something that we've been getting deep into in the past couple of months, both for my own business but then also for my clients. So the process is, it looks something like this. So I use a tool. There's different tools out there. For instance, I'm getting into HubSpot now, and HubSpot will essentially, you can put in your website URL, and then you can say, okay, here's a service that we offer. What are some common prompts that somebody would be searching for? So for instance, we offer technical services for e-commerce business owners and small business owners in general, right? So let's say somebody has a search result like, um, how can I optimize all of my images so that Google can read them properly, right? They'll type that in ChatGPT. What I do is I put content on my website to make sure to answer that question. So that way, when ChatGPT answers that question for the person who asks it, it can reference my website as a source, as a credible source. Um, how you type in ChatGPT and it gives you a response and then it gives the sources. My goal is to have my website be as one of those sources, so that when a customer or when somebody clicks on that source, it takes them to my website, and then from there, they can reach out and get more information. So that's one thing that we've been doing, is trying to answer questions that people would be asking. And the second thing is like service-based questions. So like, um, let's say somebody typed in a query like Shopify brand to, or like Shopify brand for small business owners, for example, right? Or Shopify brand in who can work with smaller teams, right? Maybe they don't want to work with like they don't have a huge brand, they have just a small team, they want a brand who can work with small teams, right? I'm going to optimize content on my website to be able to show up for that query. So when somebody does type in Shopify brands for small teams, I show up. So that's one of the things that I'm doing, and so that's some of the things that we're also looking to offer and to help out our clients with. So for instance, if somebody is a small business owner, right, and they run like, not even Shopify alone, but let's say they run like a pressure washing company in the Atlanta area, right? Making sure that you are showing up for those queries that somebody might tap into their ChatGPT. So we're getting deeper and deeper into that as well. We're diving a lot into different podcasts and different research articles. There's a lot of different articles out there that these big brands like HubSpot and other companies are putting out. There's a lot of training videos out there, a lot of courses out there as well on this whole entire process. So that's been something that we're getting deep into as well, the technical side of how we could implement that into businesses, because it, we're getting to a point where AI is using these websites as almost like a database to pull information from. So if you want to be part of that database, you have to make sure that your website is optimized. So we're doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. If you're interested in any of this, feel free to reach out. We can have a conversation as we're getting deeper and deeper into this. Um, there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of cool things that we can do definitely on the Shopify platform to help you grow your e-commerce business. And for us, we're focused on the technical side, but not only the technical side. Whether it's regards to like setting up your different marketing channels, your social media marketing channels, because the thing is, we do this for our business, so we understand the process of in everything from running ads and bringing them to your website and how to convert customers, setting up your email list, setting up, retargeting when it comes to advertisements, setting up, abandoned carts, making content for your social media page, the different type of content that, whether it's informational or whether it's promotional content, all that stuff. Feel free to reach out. There's a lot of things that we're working on. Be happy to, answer any question that you might have. Yeah, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to have conversation. But hopefully this video was able to give you a good idea of some of the stuff that we're working on and some of the things that we're trying to work on moving forward. But once again, if you have any questions at all, if you have a project that you're looking for help on, more than happy to have a conversation, and feel free to reach out.